everybody. Welcome to Marriage Plus Business. We have some really good friends of ours that we only get to see occasionally, and COVID's really made it that rare occasion. But whenever we do see them, we love to see them. We have Michael and Michelle. Welcome! Whee! These guys are newlyweds, and I wish I could take the credit for them meeting in our dance class, but no, they met each other before our dance class. But I do think things bloomed in our dance class. Yes,
they certainly did.
Yes.
So I've got some little credit to this union.
Yes, because you guys were so good about making it approachable and like, okay, I wasn't, because I didn't know what I was doing. And you guys are like, this is fun. I'm like, you're right. This is fun. I don't have to be afraid and try to impress somebody who knows how to dance. I don't know how to dance.
Right?
All of it just be fun. Good fun.
It is fun. And you even brought your daughter. That was fun.
Yes, I did.
We did.
Yeah, we had a good time. We had a good time. So anyway, as you guys know, when we are on Marriage Plus Business, we love to interview our friends and other married couples that live together, work together, and are still happy together. So,
It's crazy.
Michelle, tell us what you guys do, and tell us kind of give us some of your background. Like, you guys met, you were in different careers, and then you guys recently got married.
We did.
Kind of take us through your little origin story.
Take us, okay. Well, we met 7 years ago.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Wow.
We don't age though, right? You guys, we just don't do that. And we got married 2 years ago, 2+ years ago. And and we couldn't figure out the time when I moved in. It was kind of funny because it was kind of a slow, like just stuff kept coming over.
Yeah, funny how that works.
And then Michael's had a really successful company for 30 years as a consultant, as a biochemist by trade. Who could say that, right? Super cool. And I have been a massage therapist for March will be 30 years.
Dang, really?
That's insane. Yeah.
You don't age. Nope.
Thank you. It's all fake. No, I'm kidding. And about 9 years ago,
No, it's real.
I was introduced. I was a single mom at the time, and I had hurt my neck, and I could not move my neck. And I remember going, how am I going to go to work? Like, I have to make money. I'm a single mom. I've got a son in college. I've got two other, like, I have some, like, I got to work. Like, I'm a worker. And somebody said to me, here, try this THC cream. Back then it was just straight up pot salve. And I was like, I'm good. No.
Yeah, just smell it and you just go,
like,
oh no.
Stunk. Like, but she doesn't, the friend who said it to me doesn't smoke pot or use any type of cannabis. It was her boyfriend that said, and he was a heavy pot smoker, but she's like, no, it won't get you high. And trust me, it works. And so I said, okay. And if I get high, you're going to drive me and my daughter home from your house because I'm going to be in Lululand.
Right.
And I put it on, and lo and behold, oh my goodness, game changer. I thought, I have something here that I can share with my clients that they need it. They're on opioids. They're taking tons of over-the-counter medicine. They've got all these other conditions from their meds, and they're depressed and they're frustrated. And I see this, for how many years now?
And most people don't go to see their massage therapist. And it's like going to see your chiropractor unless you really need it. There are some people who do it, proactively, and that's a great thing. But most of us, no, we're not in that category.
Yeah.
You go to a massage therapist when you're hurting. You go to the chiropractor when you're really hurting. So Michelle has been able to, develop a product that was first developed as a massage cream, just using with people. And then once she started diving into this deeper years and years ago of, what are essential oils? What do they do? What are these natural homeopathic herbs? And then cannabis is just a game changer, from a full spectrum extract, to add some of these with that affect the endocannabinoid system, which directly attack and eliminate the pain. So it was a game changer when she started doing that. And, I've seen it, and it's very profound. And I'm a skeptic. I look at things from a scientific standpoint. It's like, oh yeah, this is a placebo effect. So it's like, I just can't wait until I have equal pain on both
A
sides of my
little
body.
resistant.
And so it's
Little
like,
bit.
wow, when I have equal pain on two arms, I put it on one arm and see what the difference is.
And
It's
I'm like,
wow.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So what did you
So-
do to yourself that you went and endured like equal pain on both arms? Like, what'd you do?
Well,
Which time?
like, right. You can name it. When you work out really
Yeah, I was gonna
hard,
say,
and
probably when you
working out
work out,
symmetrically.
Something with the boat, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, and he used to race motorcycles. He's broken his neck. He's got he's Mr. Oh yeah, you guys didn't know that.
I did not know about the
new
boat.
shoulders, knees, toes, the
You're a
whole.
miracle boy, is what you are.
Yeah, I'm the only health and safety person you'll ever know that raced motorcycles.
Yeah.
Well, it's all chosen, profession, and so therefore.
It's calculated risk.
Anyway, what we're getting into is that I'm a scientist and I look at things very objectively, and as well as what I do for a profession, but what I do, with Michelle for our product line. I want to make sure that it is absolutely hitting the target. And it's not a placebo effect. It's not just in your head. It's really, truly physiological chemical changes that go on. And so the science backs it now. It's federally legal, at certain concentrations. And so there we have it. That was our launching.
Yeah, okay, so when did you start? And it's called Human Minded, yes?
Called Human Minded.
Ooh, oh, show us the products. Oh my gosh, look at this. I just thought that was like a cocktail or something. I only saw.
No, where's my screen?
Okay,
There's.
tell us what each thing is and how.
Okay, so this is the Ease cream, and that's what's in here.
Wow, we're getting a demonstration. Too bad we're not in person.
I know it smells really good.
It smells wonderful. It doesn't smell like cannabis at
Yeah,
all.
you can't go to a board meeting smelling like weed. Sorry, that was a big
yeah, that's
no.
the play.
So that's what
Right?
glass jar, bamboo lid. So it's very sustainable, environmentally friendly packaging.
And then I was not just doing massage, but I was also doing personal training. And most of my clients, they're board members, and they're very.
I can't see it, honey.
Oh,
Oh, there
sorry.
you go. Thank you. Because I know that's why I was like, oh, look, there's product.
Yeah, I'm like, woo. I used my clients as my guinea pigs, and they gave me great feedback. What worked, what didn't work, what they were using, what they were taking from their doctors. And even like arthritis, topical medicine, I had some people that would come in and say, this hand has my stuff and this hand has their stuff. It's hands, no pun intended, hands down, better. And I was just like floored. I was like, really? And then I started learning more and more. What I discovered is I've been doing massage for so long that I couldn't figure out why, one thing is cinnamon. Cinnamon is a warming essential oil, right? A lot of us have heard that. Clove and other things. Well, turns out they have these things called terpenes. Terpenes are another thing that go into the system and activate the muscles and the nerve endings. And also cannabis has terpenes, and that's why it works.
Ah, okay.
So I was able to get feedback from humans saying, I like this, I don't like that. And that took years. And never in my wildest dream would I have ever thought I'm selling cannabis? Like, are you kidding me? Me?
Right.
Someday I'll tell you the funny story of when I had to find my first cannabis. That's a whole other
Well, that's what I want to ask. Okay, how are you guys making it? Are you buying it from somebody? Like, how is this your product?
Great question. We've tracked down the specific flower that actually has those terpenes in it that target the pain, swelling, inflammation, everything that we've heard that people need on a topical level. So we were able to find a specific flower. It's like when you eat an apple, you can't just eat an apple. I mean, if you looked at all the apples in front of you of all the choices, like there's like 450 of them, they're not all just apples, right? They have different characteristics. Cannabis is the same way. They have different characteristics. And that's why so many people get so confused and so overwhelmed, and they're like, I hated it, it was terrible, or it didn't work for me, or I didn't like this, or this didn't.
It's because all strains are different.
It's
Just like,
different.
as Michelle's analogy, all apples taste different.
Yeah.
Like all wines are different.
Right.
You know, beers are different.
Yeah.
And so forth. It's the profile from a chemical standpoint. It's the ratios and the amounts of materials that are in that certain cannabis plant in this case. You know, the cannabinoids, the CBD, the THC, the CBNs. These are just acronyms for the active ingredients in them. And what they come with, you know, if it's a plant extract, if it's extracted sustainably, lovingly, in a slow process, you're getting all the beneficial ingredients and compounds that come out of it. Versus some of our competitors, what they do is they put it through a solvent extraction. Solvents that are used are things like butane, isobutane, propane, where they put it under high pressure, high temperature, or low temperature. They crank it through in a vessel, and they pull out the extract. We'd never do that, because what we found is that that process destroys and can alter the compound itself. But when it's done slowly, and as Michelle does it, you know, through easy techniques, which are basically, it's either through extraction through oil over a long period of time, or extraction through just a food grade type alcohol, that these materials come out and they're less altered. It's less processed.
Wow.
But it is.
So yes. So
it works better.
This is why we make a good team, right?
Yeah.
Big picture, narrow picture.
No,
I have been able to extract, we do everything in-house. So we go back to the flower, we find the flower, we do that. The arnica, a lot of people have heard of arnica. I was able to find a great supplier for organic arnica. So I do all that extraction. I want to know where it's coming from. Are they, you know, do they have a heart? Are they giving back to the world? Like, are they part of our vision and our community and what we believe in? And that was pretty painstaking, actually, in
Right.
finding all the suppliers that I felt like, well, and can they supply us? So
Do they treat their people well?
Yeah.
Or is it like Shark Tank, you know, where I could do it for half the cost over in Malaysia, you know, or something like that? It's like where they have no worker protection or safety or environmental regulations.
yes.
Sorry, Malaysia, but
now
you don't.
I'm dying to know. Okay, tell us your first cannabis quest experience, because I mean, how do you go from being, you know, a very
Oh my God.
single
Oh, yeah.
mom, you know, massage
first-
therapist, to like, I
Just-
want some pot.
Oh my God. Well, even just when I finally found flower, that's what it's called. It's, you know, weed. At the time it was total THC. And I was like, oh my goodness, it
And they-
wasn't legal then.
And these people's names are things like BAM.
No. This is before that. This was the trial run of like, I needed to figure out how to do this. And somebody gives me and I'm about 2 hours from my house, so I have to drive. Gives me this hold on, I've got something for you. And it comes out in this ginormous Ziploc bag, stuffed, like a gallon bag stuffed full. And I was like, what am I gonna do with that? And he's like, put it in your trunk. And I was like, but it stinks. If I get pulled over, I'm so going to jail, and I can't go to jail. Like, I'm not gonna do jail.
Oh my God.
So, but then this is pretty funny. It kind of goes with that. We had started dating, and I had been doing this for probably about a year or so, just kind of figuring out, and my clients were starting to like it. And because Michael's an environmental scientist, and he goes into buildings, be it homes or businesses or whatever, and tests them for drugs. And I was like, I have to tell you something, and I don't know if you're gonna like me anymore. So I sat him down, and I was like, we're in my house where I've done my extractions, and I'm thinking, this guy is so wonderful, he's not gonna like me anymore. So I sat him down, and I was like, so I told him the whole thing, and he started laughing at me. He's like, that's fine. So
the drug detective is the guy you're dating.
Right.
You have to confess to the drug.
yes, I was like, he's not gonna want to talk to me anymore.
Hilarious.
That might have been the day we went dancing.
Michael, what was going through your mind when Michelle came out to you and was like, I have to sit you down for this one?
Yeah, well, she was pretty naive, that's for sure, and in a lot of ways, right? And as she's telling me about this, I'm thinking, well, all right, is she some kind of a pothead? That's definitely something I don't want to be dealing with in my life, right now. And no, when she explained it, it was from a medicinal standpoint, from her profession, and she's finding these beneficial uses for this product from a medicinal standpoint. I'm all on board with. And so it was, yeah, totally fine. And then, yeah, and I told her what I do for a profession. And actually, many of my clients professionally in Biomax, environmental, are cannabis related clients. I do process safety analyses for these huge and small cannabis manufacturing facilities where they're making extract. So I get to see it firsthand from, just a global standpoint from what they're doing in California and in other states, where from a regulatory standpoint, but from a process standpoint. So I see the good, the bad, and everything in between. And what I realize is that the less processed these materials are, whether it's a water extraction versus a solvent extraction, that's a good thing. So there's a lot of benefits to doing it the right way, which is not the most economical way, and it's not the fast way. But so I was all on board, and so it was perfect. We were able to talk about it from a technical standpoint. I could guide her through the regulatory permitting process.
Well, except that was before all that. That was all the changing. That was when California was starting to change, and so it's really amazing.
It's opened up.
We've been able to, because of that, it's just enhances our company that much better to do everything the right way. I mean, I'm so lucky. And there are times, and this comes into the marriage piece of it, like I need a cheerleader, or I need my critic. So it's like, okay, this is what I can come to him being like, okay, this is what I need today. Of like, can you look at it with these eyes instead of just, because that can get messy.
Yeah. And another thing too that I'd have to add as well is that I think from you asked the basic question at the beginning, how does this work? How can you be married and having a company together? And quite frankly, it comes down to this: we trust each other explicitly. You can't know everything, and I don't know her world anywhere near she knows it. And she doesn't know my world as well either, from that technical, scientific, biochemical standpoint. And so, but we know that we trust each other. We know that our hearts are in the right place. We look at things through the same moral compass. We don't want to do anything illegal. We want to be kind to people. We want to give people an alternative. Our vision with this company is to give people an alternative to the traditional pain medicines. The opioids, the fentanyls, the OxyContins, the Norcos, Demerol, the long list of these highly overprescribed drugs that she saw in her profession, and I saw in my profession when things go really bad, when we have to clean up these sites.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny how from the two different sections of this world, our lives collided with this company so that we could do something that we feel really good about, give people the alternative so that they get relief the right way.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm curious, Human Minded, is that strictly selling these products that you've made, or is it a whole lifestyle thing that you're offering? Because I was on I don't even know how to pronounce it. How do we pronounce what we did earlier today?
Qigong.
Thank you. I know how to spell it. I just never know how to say it. Qigong.
Right.
And your massage, and like you guys bring a lot of things to the table. Is it more of a, if you sign up with us, we'll do this, and here's the product too? Or what is the vision for your company?
It's kind of evolving into that.
It is.
Beginning of COVID, we were introduced to a Qigong master who just resonated. We both have martial arts backgrounds, and doing, I've done massage for, so long, that a lot of the philosophies were familiar to me, but it was just they say when the student is ready, the teacher appears, kind of a thing.
And they appeared
And
during
they
COVID.
appeared at the beginning of COVID.
Yeah.
And the teacher training program came available. And I'm the type of person, when I really like something, I really weigh it out and I'm in. Like if I make a commitment, I'm making a commitment. And I wanted to know more. I saw so many things that I was learning from the class in my clients over the years, and so many similarities. So that's why I thought there's so much more to know. And what I've come to realize is that to be able to do the Qigong, not just for myself and my own health and understanding of what's going on, is I can share that with the world, especially this world of this kind of meeting that we're doing. Like his daughter was on our class last week. She lives in Canada. I mean, how cool is that, right?
Great.
Yeah, video conferencing is pretty rad.
Yeah.
It is.
So there is a synergy that we see here,
Yeah.
with all of this, and your question was a good one. What is our vision?
Mhm.
And that's what it really gets back to is, giving people solutions and alternatives to, with these products, with a topical for pain relief, inflammation relief, with tinctures and so forth for sleep, when you can't sleep.
Yeah,
Sleeplessness.
I need that, please.
I know, because we have monkey brain, and then the Qigong is a really nice supplement to that because it's another way of looking at this problem. It's considered an internal martial arts. And, it's beautiful and simple at the same time, with these really profound effects, where you're looking at the energy, the chi that you're first off getting in contact with, and then starting to, manipulate it so that you're improving your health, your metabolism, how it affects all of us, which is so profound. We don't even know it exists sometimes, but to getting back in touch with it, it's very impactful.
Wow.
So what we'll probably do, because this is still new and we're still kind of figuring out how that does look for combining both, is probably within about a month or so, we'll probably have a link on the Human Minded site to say this is also is part of who we are, is we just want to help people have better lives.
Nice.
And they can choose what that looks like.
Nice.
Everyone's different. And so we'll put a link on the website for the Qigong class. And I love that we get to do that together too. I mean, that's so cool. So we wake up in the morning and we do a little Qigong together in the mornings, and it kind of starts our day out right. And
hey, whenever you drive by the Lovers Point on a weekend, or if you're in San Francisco, you go by a park and you see usually these elderly Asian people that are doing Tai Chi, and it's like, what? That looks really cool. I want to give that a try sometime.
excuse me.
And it really is. It really is profound, how it affects you. It's a discipline, but it's something that we both enjoy doing. And Tai Chi and Qigong are very, very similar.
Yeah. What is the difference between them? So I love how you described it, Michael. You said Qigong is the internal martial arts. Is
Right.
Tai Chi also martial
Yes.
arts?
Tai Chi is considered a martial arts, a little more physical. I think the difference from a layman's standpoint now, Michelle, she's gone through a lot of the teacher training, but for me, looking at it from the outside in, is that Qigong is more of an energy. It's more of an internal type of martial arts where you're looking at the energy and how it moves through meditation, through the moves, through your organs, more in getting in touch and in contact with your body versus performing a certain series of movements.
That's really great. I like the way you put that, Michael, because we're dance teachers. We dance socially, and you're dancers as well. You've been, as we mentioned at the top of the episode, you've been to one of our classes, or several, I should say. And I think when we're talking about your energy from your body and moving, that's like that pinnacle, that state in dance, and really in anything physical that you do, where you're almost pulling from this inner thing, that it's no longer being driven by like a certain, like we all train, and we all understand principles and technique, but at a certain moment there's like flow that happens,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
That's right.
Natural, and when two people are dancing,
Oh,
I think like one of the,
So hot.
the highest pinnacles. You
Mhm.
can't even tell in a dance like West Coast or cha-cha or salsa, maybe some other dances more than others, you can't really tell who's the leader and who's the
Mm.
follower.
mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
You're flowing
It's a
in
team.
unison, and I think
That's it.
Yeah, isn't it a wonderful thing? And it's when you're not thinking as well too. It just
Right.
it flows.
Yeah.
It's the and so I think maybe that's why I've been drawn to it as well too. You know, the martial arts, the dancing, you know, whether it's sailing or whether it's getting in contact with the motorsports and things like that, or bicycling. You know, it's being at one and at peace with what you're doing. And it is a flow of energy when it really comes down to it. So yes, the qigong is a very much being aware and in contact with that flow of energy, as it is with dancing as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah. Any kind of movement. It's a meditation.
It's a form of meditation. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, I like it. Well, I want to sign up for more. It's funny.
Good.
It's in the middle, toward the end, but it's in the middle of the workday. And it's funny because it's like I'm not complaining at all. It's actually in the perfect spot of the day.
It
It's
is.
one of those things where it's like, okay, it's toward the end of the day. Not the day's not over. So can you take that little mental health break?
It's only 30
Jump
minutes.
back into it? Because that's what I did. I was like, okay, I've got to get in here. And I was like, and then I was able to hit it again. But it is interesting, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but like one thing about COVID in particular is that I've always worked from home, but during the time of COVID, I am working more around the clock than I ever have. And I'm really discovering that, yeah, my best work is between 9 p.m. and 11 p.m.
Oh.
I'm getting further and further off of the normal work hours.
Wow.
Nowadays, when a client who's on the East Coast and they want to talk to me at 8 o'clock or earlier my time, I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, just because, not that I don't respect their time. It's just like, do you know that I went to bed at like 1 and I didn't really drift off till 2? So don't ask me for an early morning meeting.
Right.
But
Note to self.
I'm concerned because when life gets back to normal, whatever the heck that means, like honestly, I don't know what normal's going to look like anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I want to get back to dance. I mean, I really do. I would like to get out on the water more or do I can't say it. Qigong or Qigong?
Qigong.
Like, okay, thank you. I'm learning. I mean, I want to do more. I want to do more yoga. And then work is calling to me like a siren song. Like, girl, you still have 5 hours worth of work to do. Sit your butt down. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
But
what do
yeah.
I need to do to unplug and be as chill as you guys are? Because I am so needing to get in that zone right now.
Well, it doesn't always look like that.
Yeah. Little massage. Okay. All right.
It doesn't always. It always is not so like, oh, we're so wonderful. No, that's not always the case.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Seriously though, there are times when things can get frustrating, right? And what's nice about what we've been doing on Marriage Plus Business is that we talk about our stuff, but then other couples are like, okay, we have this issue and this is how we dealt with it. So when you guys are like in whatever, because it sounds like you've got a pretty good hold of things, but what are some of the outlets that you have? And I'm sorry to ask all the questions. I'm really not trying to like be the boss of this. I'm just so fascinated, and he chimes in whenever. But what is the secret sauce? I think part of it is what you guys starting your meditation in the morning together to get on the right foot. That's a beautiful thing.
Kind of. I think from my perspective is we allow each other to be human, watch our expectations. And I'm so appreciative of having this man in my life. I think we've talked about this enough, that it's a choice. Like we're here because we want to be here. And I think we really honor each other. And yeah, if I'm acting like a butthead, he tells me. And if he's acting like a butthead, I tell him, but we do it with kindness.
Right.
And because we've
been there.
Yeah.
We've both been married, and those marriages, they were dysfunctional. They became dysfunctional. And so, maybe I know we learned a lot
Yeah.
since then,
Yeah.
and know how to respect each other, trust each other. But it's important to be with a person who has a similar core value as well, too. That moral compass I mentioned
At least for
before,
us.
because, we just couldn't make it work if we were just on different perspectives, on critical life things, like how we treat homeless people, like politics to a certain degree, those are foundational type things, and which were similar there first off, and then it's just that mutual respect,
Mhm.
which helps, for
And-
certain.
And allowing each other to, everybody has a bad day. Everybody gets cranky. It just shows up differently. And to allow that person to be like, unless it goes too far and be like, hey, that didn't feel good. But it's like, we talk nice to each other, even when and that's a choice. And we also know that's a choice. I think that's part of it too, is just to take responsibility for like, well, we're both good about that. How did I show up in this conversation? And we're both really responsible in our relationship. That's it. That's the word.
Well, yeah, you're right. Taking responsibility for your actions, and you know what? If you really mess up, say you're sorry.
Yeah.
Own it. Don't be so narcissistic that it couldn't possibly be my fault. I think both of us look at it that way, right? Couldn't possibly.
That's funny.
That's a good point, though, that you're bringing up, Michael. I think,
Yeah.
is just knowing when to take responsibility.
Yeah.
I think part of it is being able to recognize it and see that, because
Mhm.
that can be tough. It can,
Yeah.
when you're kind of blind to it, in essence, and that.
Right, and we learn that through experience, don't we? And we were both in relationships, separately, that we were somebody who was very narcissistic, and that didn't feel very good. And I think now we're with this choice. We don't want to be that way,
Yeah.
because we know how it feels. And I would be such a hypocrite if I acted like that. And I know Michelle feels the same way. So no, it's you evolve through relationships, and I've always jokingly said that typically you screw up your first marriage because it's like making pancakes, right? You always mess up the first one, but that's not always the case. But
The good thing is, when you make pancakes, you usually there's more batter than just to make one. So, right?
yeah, there you go. But
Plenty of
sometimes
batter. There you go.
sometimes the heat was too hot. The griddle wasn't right. Not enough butter on that griddle, or it was too cold. There's a lot of ways of messing up those pancakes, but after a while you get good at it, and I think we did pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are
It's
so great.
Yeah.
So,
No.
Kind of wrap it up. I mean, before we go, is there a website?
oh yeah,
where
yeah.
you're-
We want to know where to
where
buy
you can
everything.
Buy your things. Or
Yes.
them?
It's humanminded.co, C-O. And we have our products on there. We have the CBD tinctures coming as our next product. And maybe we could do another, if this works out, if it wouldn't talk your ears off, explain to you like
It
what
doesn't
is
have
CBD
palm oil,
and
which
why is it
very bad
important
for the
to
Do another one.
environment.
Yeah,
So,
remind me the names of the two things that you showed us. It's the
Move gel and ease cream.
Move gel. Move gel.
That's this one. Ease cream.
Move gel and ease cream. Got it.
Yes.
Ease cream.
Especially after probably a long dance weekend. I mean,
My feet.
you've gotta be sore. Or
Yeah.
getting ready for a competition. That's, doing sports massage, I get it. So that's where my expertise comes in.
Got it.
Awesome.
All right, love you guys.
Love you
Love
guys too.
you.
Thanks so much.
Big hug.